Hey guys, and welcome back to another piece of our minds. And today, what we have for you is 7 reasons why you should not open your third eye. Well, the first thing is the hardest part of waking up is the fact that your human ego and your conscious state are battling, because you're aware of what's right and what's wrong on your conscious state, and for a human perspective, you're aware of what you've been programmed to and what's right and what's wrong, and both of those counteract each other and they kind of battle. So you'll go through phases where you'll think one thing, but then your conscious of being will be like, whoa, back it up a few steps and let's look at this again, and then you're going back.
So you want to dive into number 1?
Yeah, so what we have taken down for number 1 from our perspective is, first things first, you won't look at food the same. Food is a big thing when it comes to waking up.
So when you wake up, you start to realize, or when you open your third eye, I don't want to say wake up because not everybody resonates with that, but you start to realize with your real eye that what you're eating and what everybody's eating is here to actually manipulate our vibration and manipulate our frequency so that we feel more depressed, feel more anxiety. Think about, so meat was a really big one. This is why a bunch of the spiritual practitioners and spiritual people are vegan, or vegetarian, because
vegetarian is just the start, though. That's
it really, I mean,
and pescatarian.
You can build your way up. It all depends on the person, because everybody's different.
Yes.
But you realize what you're eating is dead
flesh.
Dead flesh, and what you're not realizing sometimes is what's in it is when energy doesn't die. It all goes back to energy and frequency. Energy, you can't be destroyed and it can't be created. It can only be transformed. So these animals are tortured and
download that energy and that information from the meat you consume. In their moment of death, you're experiencing the same anguish and pain and fear. That's why nowadays with fast food chains, everyone's eating fast food. Everyone's always anxious and anxiety filled.
And why do you think they came out with the Travis Scott burger? Because all these fast food places are trying to introduce the Impossible Burger, because holy shit, people are not eating meat as much because more people are realizing. So now they're like, okay, so Travis Scott, he's a bot, so he is his soul. The system has his soul, so he just follows what he needs to do. He signed the contract. He doesn't get to make his own choices. So yeah, now that's introduced to entice people, because everybody wants to try the Travis Scott burger, right? Not everybody, but you know what I'm getting at.
Because Travis Scott's this big hot thing right now, and let's label this burger as a Travis Scott burger. You're gonna have kids. That's the first thing that they're trying to take.
They target kids because the kids are easiest. Yeah, if you get them young.
Kids are always on the new hype wave. They're always trying to stay up with the new ups.
But yeah, and then you'll realize that natural, healthy foods from the earth help you raise your frequency and give you downloads. You also gotta think
food is you make your own food. You're making it with love. You're putting your own energy into it. You're taking your time to make that meal. Even if you're trying to make a quick dinner, you're still putting your energy into it. The thing with food corporations, it's like a factory line. There's okay, we're pushing product, push.
No love.
There's no love put into that food. And you really can tell the difference if the food has love into it and if it doesn't.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to number 2.
Number 2.
If working a 9-to-5 job is your forte and you love it and you are determined to do that for the rest of your life and follow somebody else's rules for the rest of your life and get told when to eat and when to go to the bathroom for the rest of your life,
opening your third eye is not for you.
May not be your thing.
Nope.
Because you'll realize, wait a minute, why do I just sit here and allow people to tell me when I can go to break, when I need a break? I sit here and allow people to tell me when I can go have my lunch. And why I'm sitting here getting underpaid for literally breaking my back for a lot of jobs, not all jobs, or a lot of jobs are just mindlessly sitting in front of a computer, mindlessly doing all these things on the phone. You're not, for me, that's not my purpose.
We're essentially being made into computers. Recently, I had a meeting with my couple managers at my 9-to-5 job that I was working at, and the words that came out of their mouth, we are literally machines to them. They literally said that. it blew my mind when they said that, because what the conversation I was talking about is, you have to do an evaluation check or a morale check on your employees, and they're like, oh, well, they know what they're getting into. They know this, they know that.
They signed the contract.
They signed the contract, this, that, and the other, but they know what hard work it is, but they don't at the same time when they first start. And I'm like, okay, but that still doesn't take the fact that you should routinely go through each employee and ask how they're doing, regardless if they tell you, no, I'm not doing okay. And being awoke, or being conscious of that, it's triggering. It triggers you, and it makes you kind of fight back against your work in a way.
I mean, you don't have to literally fight back and like
literally
argue with your managers and all that. That's not. But the thing is you're now aware and conscious of what's going on, and so it makes it harder to just blindly accept. Yeah, because that's what we've been programmed to do. What we were raised to do. We've been raised to blindly just accept things. This is what you're supposed to do. This is where you're supposed to go, and this is how life works. But no, that's not. You have so much power, and you start to realize, wait a minute, we live in an infinite universe with infinite possibilities. Whatever I think, I can create, because essentially you are a god. So you realize that, wait a minute, no, don't tell me when to go to lunch. Like, if I'm hungry now, I'm hungry now. Like, don't tell me when my body needs to get fed. Like, that shit, like, you'll start to realize, and you'll be like, wait a minute, wait, let me go create something on my own.
They have us on their programs.
I don't want to, you're going to realize that you don't need to rely on the system, that you can rely on yourself, because we have been taken away from our natural roots on how we're supposed to be living, not surviving paycheck to paycheck, scraping by. No, we're supposed to be living vibrantly. The wind got harder when I said that. The wind's like, yes,
speak, child.
So, but yeah, you have anything else to add to that?
You kind of took the reins right there and
yeah, moving on to number 3.
Number 3.
This one's touchy.
This one's a very touchy subject for a lot of people, and there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna backlash against this, which is okay.
It's totally beautiful.
We got
open
minds. About. We love hearing this. This is what we do daily.
Don't open your third eye if
you love your religion. Because
you, kind of like what I just said earlier, you're gonna realize
there's a lot of self-realization.
It's another thing. It kind of goes back to the 9-to-5 job thing. It was literally created to control the masses. I know how that sounds, but it was created about 2,500 years ago. Religion, which was the start of the age of Pisces.
Yep.
Every age lasts about 2,500 years.
Yes.
So that was 2,500 years ago. We're entering into the age of Aquarius right now. The age of Pisces is
lies, deception, and power.
They value money, power, control. The age of Aquarius is what we're entering right now, is about unity, love, compassion, equality, truth.
The veil being lifted from our eyes.
And that's what's happening right now. And so you'll realize that if you open your third eye, and you'll be like, holy shit, I've been lied to my whole life.
Yeah.
And you'll realize, wait a minute, who was this God that I was praying to when they're not over there? They're not. They've been here the whole entire time. Like, you are God. Like, and that's what you'll realize. Holy shit. This God that I've been relying on creating things for me, you're creating yourself. Because you are manifesting your life.
The first thing you should question about your religion is, why do I have to go through so many people to talk to this God? If he has such an influence over our lives, why do I have to go through a priest? Why do I have to go through the Pope? Like, why do I have to go through the Reverend and all these other people just to speak to this God?
All you have to do is go through yourself.
Out loud. Like, but they tell you to go home and pray at night. Like Frank Ocean said, if religion brings you to your knees, it's a bad religion.
It's a bad religion.
You shouldn't have to bow down on your knees to a God and give praise. He gave it this stuff to us. We gave it to ourselves.
By doing that, you're separating yourself from this God. When you should be, you're one. It's unity. You're one with God. You're not praying to this God. You are going within and finding this power within yourself. And that's something that you'll realize. And I've always wondered, like, I talked to my mom about this. My mom, love her to freaking death, but I'd be like, I wonder what happens when a pastor's third eye opens, because
that's gotta be hit like a truck.
That, right? Or like when you, well, it's also, sometimes your programs are so deeply invented in your brain because it's something you've been told since you were a young child, so that it just can't be broken.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's why they get you as a child. But yeah.
Moving on to number
5.
5.
Don't.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, don't open your third eye if you're not ready to give up all the screen time.
No, on number 4, actually. Don't open your third eye if you love mindless scrolling through social media.
You'll realize why social media, why the media was put here in the first place. The news, your television programs. Television, tell lies to your vision.
Yes.
This TV was put here to keep us under control.
Hypnosis.
Just like everything else. It keeps us under hypnosis. And you're going to realize this. You're going to realize, wait a minute. When I opened my third eye, I couldn't watch TV anymore. If you love to binge watch your shows for hours and hours while mindlessly eating chips, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be a bot anymore. You're going to be awake. You're going to be like, holy shit, wait, I'm just sitting, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because you're not creating anything. You're not using your brain. You're not doing anything. You're literally just for hours. When I opened my third eye and I realized this, I couldn't watch TV anymore. All I saw was like a piece of flesh like this in front of my screen. And it literally, and that's another thing, because that's why it can cause depression, because then you're like, holy shit, like, my family members do this, my friends do this all day, and you want to go hang out with them. You want to go hang out with them, then you're like, this isn't my lifestyle anymore. I can't. Let's go outside. Let's go breathe nature. Let's go to the ocean. Let's go. You know, there's once that happens, you realize that there's so much to do. There's infinite things to do and create, and you realize that when you're doing that, you're sitting there doing nothing. And when you're scrolling through social media, what are you reading? What are you looking at? Because a lot of it is lies. A lot of it is here to lower your vibration, so that to keep you down, because when your vibration's low, you're super easy to control. This is why the news uses the fear tactics, because when you're afraid, it lowers your immune system and it lowers your vibration, and it keeps you easy to control. That's another thing. The news tells you, oh, do this to be safe, do this to be safe. Safe is code word for control. Keep you safe. No, they're controlling you, honey.
Yeah. And you also got to think with the TV and everything, with the whole coronavirus, the fires and everything, how out of proportion they try to make it seem. Like, first of all, yes, coronavirus has sadly killed a lot of people, but look at all these other diseases and stuff that have been around for so long, and then they're blowing up one certain thing and putting it in your face every single day, and then telling you to stay home, keeping you trapped at home, in front of the TVs, in front of the screen, so you're constantly hypnotized. Yeah.
You don't have to be afraid. I'll let you know right now, you don't have to be afraid.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
There's nothing ever to be afraid of. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's literally an illusion. Just like everything else around us is an illusion. You create what you want to create.
Yes.
That's another thing, going back a little bit. Since a young child, you're told all these things, which means most of your thoughts aren't even your thoughts. It's what you've been told. So start thinking for yourself, and you'll see. Start asking questions, because a lot of us don't ask questions. We just, okay, and then you go do whatever you're told all the time. No, ask questions. Be a lion. Stop being a sheep. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you. I'm just saying, like, don't open your third eye if you ain't ready for it.
One thing that definitely stood out to me when I first had my third eye open, when I was watching TV and playing video games constantly, was I tend to notice that, like, you know, when your eyes start burning when you're watching TV for too long, I literally feel like that's your soul crying because it's stuck and it can't get to you to let you know what you're doing is degrading and desensitizing you from what's really going on around you. You're not living in the moment. You're living in an illusion and a false reality, because you get these false feelings from certain shows that make those, it rises, like scary movie gives you fear, happy movies make you happy, loved ones make you feel that love emotion.
It's all about energy.
And then they separate us from each other all the time. Your neighbor, how many of you guys actually talk to your neighbor? Like, those feelings that you should have, as you watch TV, you should be experiencing out in the real world, not through a screen. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want to keep you locked up in their lines.
It's another thing to control us and keep us separated.
It is. All right.
So number 6. Don't open your third eye if you're not ready to let go of some people in your life. Because you're going to start to realize that a lot of these people are distractions. A lot of these people, let's go drink, let's go to the club, let's go sit on the couch together and binge watch Netflix, let's go. You're going to realize that that's not your lifestyle anymore. You're going to realize, wait, I can't do that. I want to go do things. So that's a really hard thing. And the thing is you don't have to force it, because it's going to naturally happen, because they're vibrating down here, and when you're vibrating up here, you can't.
They just won't. They're not compatible.
You're not compatible anymore. So it's like, I'm not saying, oh, you have to text them and let them know, hey, we can't hang out. No, it's gonna happen naturally when you start to open your third eye and you're conscious of the things that's going on. And you can try to talk to your friends because they're your friends, but the sad reality is a lot just won't hear you. And I have hope that a lot can hear you, but everyone has their time to realize things, you know, and it might not be in this lifetime, and it's something that we have to sadly just accept, because if we dwell over it, then we're doing harm on ourselves. So we need to focus on ourselves and focus on what we know we need to do, and focus on not letting distractions get in our way, and that sadly includes our friends and family members sometimes.
It definitely is hard to talk to people you used to talk to when you have an open third eye, because a lot of the topics and things you bring up, they're not going to comprehend, nor are they going to understand. They're going to look at you and be like, that's interesting, or that's crazy, bro, but they're really not going to be interested. They may act like they're interested, but they're not.
And they'll call you a conspiracy theorist.
They're going to call you a conspiracy theorist. They're going to be like, oh, I don't believe that, or, well, I mean, like, but you gotta also realize, don't let that put you down, because you gotta realize there's so many other people out there that are thinking the exact same things as you. So what makes you, in what way should that make you think that you're crazy?
And just so you know, the CIA invented the conspiracy theory, invented that whole phrase just so these smart people that came up with all these conspiracy theorists, so that people be like, oh, you, and label you, oh, you are a conspiracy theorist. No, you're fucking smart and you crack some codes. That's what a conspiracy theorist is.
They're the ones dropping, they're the conspiracy because Because
they think for themselves.
Yeah. And the free thinker. All these celebrities all have their third eye open, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
And nothing yeah.
Let's dive into number 7.
Yes.
Don't open up your third eye if you love your mainstream music, that hip-hop, Migos, all that, because they're a part of the system and they're here to help dumb you down and program you. So I'm going to break this down really fast because this video is getting kind of long and I don't want it to be super long.
True.
But the music industry, the reason why songs go so big and get all these millions of hits is because they all have an agenda to dumb us down, and these agendas are degrading women, degrading men, degrading you, making you feel like you aren't really worth shit because you don't have a fancy car, you don't have money, you don't have all this stuff, you don't got bitches, you don't got, so yeah, you're not really you're not at the top. You praise me because I'm at the top, you're not at the top, so you praise me. No, they're teaching you not to praise yourselves because you need to praise yourselves, and that's where the music industry really is fucking us over. I like to listen to reggae and all these things that uplift you and make you realize that you are a lion and you are, you know what I'm saying. So music industry, it also has to do with frequencies, and that's a whole nother video. But this is just a really quick one too. Number 8, you want to talk about that?
Don't open
Wait a
your
minute.
third eye. Huh?
This is number 8, but I think I mean 7.
We're on 7. Don't open your third eye if you love being indoors, because when you open your third eye, you're gonna realize you're trapped in a box.
Basically,
you're trapped in a box, and they program into you, the system programs into you, oh, you gotta wake up, go to work, come back, go to sleep.
And
that's the routine.
Here's the thing. We work to pay for these houses that we stay in, right? How often are we in those houses? Because when we're at work most of the day, we're at work paying for the house to live in, but basically all we do is sleep there for a lot of us, especially people who are trying to survive working 2-3 jobs to pay for this house that they don't even get to freaking be in because they're at work all fucking day. Does that make sense? Like, that's another thing you realize, like, wait a minute, I'm paying for this stuff, I'm paying for these food, when it's like, holy, I can grow my own food, I can, you know, do all this stuff, I can build my own house. Like,
so much.
It's all about the system.
But
it's all being a part of the system. Right.
Get money for free. Like,
and
why
you're
do we
like,
have to pay so much just to live on a planet we're born onto?
Exactly. We're supposed to be outside in nature, and I'm not saying don't, like, appreciate
Enjoy your
house.
time inside.
Yeah, appreciate your house and all that. We can build the houses and rely on ourselves for that. But what I'm saying is, we're meant to spend a lot more time out in nature than we do. Most of us are work, school, sleep, house, indoors all day, every day. Being outside heals you. It actually heals you. It downloads information into your mind. Like, it's insane when you realize this. You won't want to you won't be able to stand being indoors all day, every day anymore. Even on rainy days like this. It's rainy. I don't know if you can even see or hear, but you'll realize the beauty of nature and realize that being
beautiful.
Yeah, and realize that being inside all day is keeping you from the sun, which also heals you and downloads information into your mind and body. So that's that. If you think if you're ready for all this, you might want to consider looking into some stuff, questioning things. If you are like, oh hell no,
then keep doing your life.
Keep doing your thing. That's beautiful. Enjoy it. Just be
safe and be cautious and aware.
Yeah, and just enjoy your life and enjoy every moment that you have to live on this planet Earth, because it is truly beautiful. It is truly beautiful. As much as we like to inflict fear and all these, oh, we live in a horrible place, like, a lot of horrible things happen, but a lot of beautiful things are here too that we just look right past because we're so focused on the horrible things, which ain't cool.
Yep.
So, and we ain't perfect. Like, we talk about that shit too. Like, we see it, we talk about it, but we redirect and be like, all right, but we live in this beautiful planet and we're here to create beautiful things. So, yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much
for
watching, tuning in, and hope to see you next time.
So hit that like button, punch
Love
that
you.
subscribe button. Peace.